In July of 2016, I filmed a 3-part series titled The Journey. 2 years later, I released a director's cut and edited all 3 films into a short film roughly 43 minutes in length. The director's cut version has recently received a rather large spike in watch time, and I thought I would reply to some of the reoccurring comments regarding some of the things the character in this film is either doing for a specific reason or not doing for some specific reason. The intent of the film in its 3 separate parts was to show some basic survival tips and skills in an unconventional format of a post-apocalyptic short story. The original 3-part series had absolutely no dialogue by the character at all, and when I edited the director's cut, I added an inner dialogue from the character's perspective. The character also was noted to have made some mistakes that I intentionally added to the film in order to get the audience thinking, and it worked in terms of generating a dialogue between viewers who commented. So, here are some of those notable comments and why I did or did not have the character do certain things in the director's cut and the original, and all of it. Most commented on scene was the can opener scene. The character Gordon forgets to pack a can opener or P38 and uses the rough cement to sand down the crimp of the edge of the can in order to open it. It was intentional on my part to have the character use an alternate technique to open the can. However, when he uses the knife to lift open the lid, most viewers claimed, why not open the can with the knife? Why not cut into it with the knife? Well, you certainly could. However, there is the survival concept called risk versus reward. The risk of slipping and cutting your finger is too high in a survival situation trying to open the can in that way. So, raise your hand if you ever cut your finger with a knife accidentally. I know I have. Now, put yourself in a survival situation with an open cut that will need immediate attention and constant care to keep clean in a dirty environment where the risk of infection is very, very high. That risk versus reward is way too high. Next is the neighborhood scene. In this scene, our character Gordon walks past a few houses and spots some avocados that fell from a tree. Most people commented, hey, why not break into some houses and get food and water, or go to a Walmart store and stock up? The reason is simple. The houses are an unknown factor. Who knows who might be in there, scared as hell and ready to use a shotgun at the slightest intrusion or noise. This is where the normalcy bias comes into play. It causes people to underestimate the likelihood of a disaster and its possible effects. People believe that things will always function the way things normally have functioned without any change. As to going to a store after a disaster, think about it. Everyone's first reaction is to go where there is resources. In one scene where the character Gordon confronts the marauder who has been stalking him, it is noted that his firearm is packed away in his backpack, and many pointed out that he should be carrying it within reach at all times, preferably in his waistband. I was pleased to see these comments because in a survival situation, OPSEC is one overlooked aspect in survival, mostly due to the normalcy bias and sometimes improper security training. In this film, you will notice character development, where Gordon has learned to keep that firearm within reach at all times towards the end of the film. Next is the fact that Gordon killed the marauder. Some people question why. Why? He was running to get a jump on the character Gordon with a pipe wrench. That's why. That's why he killed him. A couple of minor noteworthy comments were, why didn't he take the tarp off that car to use as shelter material? That's a good point. I'm glad at least one of my viewers caught that. Learn to look for things as resources in a survival situation. Some also commented, why not take the shopping cart to put things into to carry? You could, but it would slow your progress, unless you established a shelter where you could use it to transport water and supplies. For me, filming the journey was a journey, and probably my most watched video on YouTube channel ever. I will provide links to the various versions and film previews and the behind the scenes look about the short film, The Journey. Thank you for watching, and as always, be safe on your journey.